Welcome back to another video. In this one, we'll be looking at 11 amazing new mods. Most of these mods are single player focused, but many are also multiplayer compatible as long as they're loaded onto your server. If you love mods and want to see more, go ahead and pound that like and subscribe button like it's your ex-girlfriend that one night in Vegas. Like it's Sydney Sweeney. Send a 2,000 pounder through that fucker and let's go. At 11 is HCall NPC Dialog by Kunamo. An absolute game changer for scenario makers that want to add NPCs with dialogue, and honestly the setup for even the most basic conversations was insanely easy. The mod is actually a set of modules that you place in the editor and sync together and then to a trigger. For example, I sync this little encounter to play out so when I walk up to this officer he greets me and then hits me with a follow-up sentence. You can sync tons of follow-up sentences and even change the picture of the speaker using pre-made pictures, or if you know how to create PAA files, you can create custom ones yourself. You can even use custom sound bites to play by highlighting the path of the file. It's seriously amazing. A firm salute to Kunamo. At number 10 is IHPS and IVAS by Kartza. I really love helmets with visors, even though in real life they're kind of unwieldy and awkward, but dude, are they fucking cool as hell. This mod is a standalone integrated head protection system and integrated visual augmentation system, or IVAS. The mod comes with a few different variants of the helmet and 3 variants of the IVAS for NVGs and thermals, or both. They're cool as shit and even work with ACE and BetIR. If you like this equipment, you're gonna love the next mod. At 9, we've got Combat Equipment Involved. This mod is for the Operation Trebuchet chads out there, and boy, are there a shitload of them. This mod is basically the marine equipment we all remember seeing in the Halo Combat Evolved, which is sick, but also pretty funny because it looks lower tech than the stuff during Operation Trebuchet, but I'm pretty sure that was before the Covenant Human War began, so like, what? Maybe it's a lore thing I don't understand, but I do love some Halo, so fuck yeah. At number 8 is Ambient Modules by Ironsight. Ever wanted to level an entire city in Arma with literally one module? Well, now you can. This mod comes with a few badass modules like Airstrike, Artillery Strike, and even a Cruise Missile Strike. Instructions within the modules are super clear and allow you to incorporate some incredible firepower in your missions. And it's a great way to start a fucking mission if you ask me. But I also like seeing shit blow up. It's just the American in me if I'm being honest. At number 7 is the Boeing 747 pack by Joker006. Joker has been positively on fire the last year or so, dropping an obscene amount of new aircraft mods, and he's not showing any signs of stopping. This pack includes the venerable 747 in a few different variants, most notably Air Force 1 and even the experimental YAL-1, more colloquially known as the Airborne Laser. Unfortunately, the laser head is just for show, for now anyway. The 747 can fit a server's worth of people in it, and she's a thick bitch behind the controls, but boy, is she fun to drive. Oh! At number 6 is the FFRS T62 by Dawn. I've waited long and hard for a high-fidelity T62 to hit the workshop, and boy did we get a banger. This model is beautiful and comes in 3 different variants. The mod does require the Global Mobilization DLC to work properly, as it uses the machine gun and cannon rounds from that DLC. So without GM loaded, you won't be able to fire, and that's an absolute travesty because this thing is fun. It's also a more time period friendly option for the Leopard 1s to fight from the DLC. She's armed with a 115mm cannon and the coaxial machine gun, as well as a heavy machine gun on top for the commander to fend off any aircraft that fuck with you. At number 5, we have the amazing CV-22 Osprey by Altar of Needles. Finally, someone came along and added the CV-22 specific modifications to the old MV-22 from Arma 2. The CV-22 has a ton of special operations-centric equipment for operations in contested environments, most notably in low light and no light conditions. The terrain following radar in the nose is one of the key features of the CV-22 that allows it to conduct infill and exfil missions anytime, anywhere. I know the V-22 Enterprise has a bad rap, but honestly, let me tell you that it is an awesome platform, and the Air Force has some of the best maintenance personnel that work on our Ospreys. I was fortunate enough to be deployed with these bad boys in a pretty spicy shithole, and I'll tell you right now that these guys are an absolute cut above the rest. At number 4 is a Swedish-focused terrain called Stubbhult. I know I just butchered the shit out of that, and I do apologize to my Swedish brethren out there. This terrain is gorgeous, pure and simple. It's a little over 12 by 12 kilometers in size, and it looks pretty faithful to the real-world location it was inspired by. These woods are thick and lush, with a ton of points of interest to seek out and make your base camp in. There's 3 different airfields and plenty of towns to wage war in, and honestly, this terrain at night is pretty fucking terrifying, so some paranormal action here would be sick as fuck. At number 3 is On the Offensive Aegis by Crispy Bacon. Bacon has been churning out some banger single-player missions over the last year, and this one resonates pretty hard because it's designed around the Arma 3 Aegis mod. Set during the Eastwind campaign, the scenario is faithful to the lore and believable from a strategic standpoint. As NATO clashes with CSAT and AAF forces over Altus International, a beachhead is needed on the western part of the island to flank opposing forces and capture the objective. The mission takes about 20 to 30 minutes to complete depending on your playstyle. Everything is scripted really well, and the action to downtime ratio is actually really good. It's not just a constant firefight, which I feel a lot of scenario makers kind of forget to include some downtime so the players can reset. This scenario, though, is awesome, and I really hope Bacon has more in the pipeline for Arma 3 Aegis because that mod fucks and needs more scenarios with it. And number 2 is the amazing JCA M16A4. I love the M16 series of rifles, and I mean, yeah, of course I do. I'm American, but that's not just it. I fell in love with the M16A2 in Operation Flashpoint when Kozlowski went on a love rant for his rifle.
Look at this rifle. It's beautiful. The M16A2, 15 rounds a second, perfectly balanced, and only weighs 5 pounds. How can you not love it?
Like I said, Kozlowski, you're a weirdo.
And I am too. This is the M16A4, and it's right up to standard with the rest of Graves' amazing arsenal of weapons. Truth be told, this one is my favorite of his mods so far. Call me old-fashioned, but she's just a hard weapon to beat aesthetically. She comes in single fire and burst, and boy, does she like to party up close and far away. Hell, she's even into the group thing. With all the attachments within JCA Armory, you can make her as sexy as you want, and she'll be a trusty sidekick through any battle. And finally, at number 1 is the awesome AbramsX mod by Quigs. Getting the latest Abrams on the workshop was not on my 2024 bingo card. This thing fits right into the core game as NATO's new main battle tank. Many people have stated how much they either disliked the Merkava or didn't feel it should have been NATO's main battle tank, but I personally love it. I don't know what the fuck they're smoking. I do think the Kuma would have been a dope NATO tank, but the Merkava, it oddly fits. Anyway, that argument is no longer valid because we have the actual tank that will be rolling around one-shotting Russian shitboxes with ease in real life in 2035. This gorgeous machine hit the gym and shed some weight, about 5 tons to be precise, getting her back to her 60-ton weight. She comes with a full weapon suite for the new era of warfare, including a 120mm XM360 cannon, a 30mm chain gun up top for the commander, and an advanced fire control system. The mod is still under development as Quigs plans to release even more features like drone integration and Ace mod integration. His Merkava mod is also going to get an honorable mention here because it fucks just as hard and recently received an upgrade offering the beautiful Mark II Delta and the Mark III Bravo variants. I cannot wait to see what Quigs puts out for us next. Well guys, that's it for this mod list. I truly hope you found some new toys to play with. Thank you, as always, to those goated patrons and channel members. If you have massive jawlines like these people and want to support my channel, see the links in the description below. Everything helps, and it is so appreciated, guys. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.